Stop scrolling, not because this hurts, but because your heart already feels tired of pretending it doesn't. Some people don't leave your life. They leave your heart first, and you feel it every night. The worst pain is not being alone. It's being with someone and still feeling abandoned. You didn't lose them suddenly. You lost them the day your effort stopped being noticed. Have you ever cried quietly because you didn't want them to know how much they were hurting you? You stayed patient, loyal, understanding, and somehow that became the reason they stopped trying. Not every heartbreak ends with goodbye. Some end with silence and unanswered hope. You kept choosing them every day until one day you realized they stopped choosing you back. The saddest moment is when you feel yourself changing, not because you want to, but because loving them hurts too much now. If your chest feels heavy listening to this, it's because a part of you knows you stayed longer than you should have. This video is not about chasing someone who walked away. It's about the quiet moment when a heart realizes it is no longer being held the way it once was. Stay with me till the end. Not because this story is dramatic, but because it sounds like something you never said out loud. There is a kind of pain that doesn't cry, it doesn't beg, it doesn't ask for explanations. It just sits in the chest and grows heavier with time. It's the pain of noticing that someone is still there, but no longer choosing you the same way. You feel it when conversations get shorter, when warmth turns into politeness, when effort starts feeling like a burden instead of love. No one leaves suddenly. They leave in pieces. They leave the day their messages stop carrying urgency. They leave the day their presence stops feeling like home. They leave the day you realize you are loving alone. This isn't about losing someone loudly. It's about losing them quietly, while still smiling, still being kind, still pretending you're okay. If you've ever stayed silent because you didn't want to seem needy, if you've ever held back tears just to keep the peace, if you've ever loved deeply and learned how to let go without making noise, then this isn't just a video. It's the truth your heart has been carrying in silence, and what comes next may finally explain why letting go hurt more than holding on. Part 1. The silence that notices everything. This video isn't about chasing. It's about what happens inside a heart when someone realizes slowly and painfully that the person who once felt like home is no longer standing still. When they feel you slipping away, the first thing that changes is not their voice. It's their silence. They don't argue. They don't ask questions. They don't demand explanations. Instead, they become quiet observers. They start watching you in ways they never did before. They notice how your smile doesn't look for them anymore, how your energy feels softer, distant, like it no longer rushes toward them without hesitation. They notice how your replies are still kind, but no longer heavy with attachment, still present, but no longer anchored. And this silence isn't confidence. It's confusion wrapped in fear. At night, when everything is quiet, their mind starts replaying memories they once ignored. How easily they used to reach you, how permanent your presence felt, how they assumed you would always be there, unchanged, waiting. Now they scroll through old messages, rereading words that once felt ordinary, but now feel sacred. They watch your stories, not to intrude, but to understand. They wonder who you are becoming without them. This is the moment that shakes them quietly, because they realize something painful. You didn't leave suddenly. You didn't disappear dramatically. You moved forward, silently. And the version of you that once stood exactly where they left you is no longer there. Part 2. Feeling the loss. Before it happens, before you fully leave their life, they begin to feel the loss inside their chest, not loudly, not dramatically. It arrives as a quiet heaviness they can't explain. They feel it in the pauses, in the space where your warmth used to arrive effortlessly, in the way your laughter no longer wraps around them the same way. The strange part is, you're still there, but something is missing. You've stopped reaching first, stopped checking in to make sure they're okay, stopped stretching yourself to keep the connection alive, and that shift unsettles their heart. They notice when your name doesn't light up their phone anymore. They feel restless when days pass without your presence filling the gaps. They wonder why your absence now feels louder than your presence ever did. They replay conversations, searching for the exact moment everything changed, but the truth hurts too much to admit. It wasn't one moment. It was 1,000 quiet realizations. The day you stopped asking for more, the day you stopped explaining your pain, the day you stopped proving your worth. Some nights they almost reach out, their fingers hover over the screen, heart heavy with unsaid words, but pride, fear, and unfinished emotions stop them. They don't know yet if they've lost you, but they know something sacred is slipping through their fingers, and that uncertainty hurts more than loss itself. Part 3. The silent war inside their heart. When they feel you slipping away, their heart enters a quiet conflict. Not the kind anyone sees, not the kind that creates scenes. It happens in still moments, when no one is watching. One part of them wants to speak, to reach out, to admit they feel the distance growing. The other part tells them to stay still, to protect their pride, to act unbothered. So they choose silence, but inside they are restless. They think of you during ordinary moments that suddenly feel incomplete. A song, a place, a random thought that brings your presence rushing back. They start questioning things they never questioned before. Did they assume you would always stay? Did they give less because they thought you'd give more? Did they mistake your patience for permanence? These questions haunt them because there are no easy answers. They remember how quietly you showed up, how you loved without conditions, how you stayed even when it hurt. And now, they only feel the weight of that love because it's no longer guaranteed. They want to believe they still have time, but something inside whispers a painful truth. Time doesn't wait forever. They stand at the edge of realization, unsure whether to step forward or let the moment pass. And deep down they know, whatever they choose next might decide whether you stay or become a memory they carry in silence. Part 4. When actions start speaking. Eventually, silence becomes too heavy to hold. Pretending stops working. Feelings demand movement. That's when their actions begin to change. They might reach out casually, pretending it means nothing. A simple message, a small reaction, a memory brought up without explanation. Not because they don't care, but because caring feels dangerous now. They're testing the distance between you, trying to see if your warmth still exists, if your presence still feels familiar. Sometimes they become more attentive. They listen more closely. They remember details they once overlooked. Other times, they pull back again, afraid of revealing too much, afraid of realizing they waited too long. This back and forth isn't confusion, it's fear. Fear of admitting they took your love for granted. Fear of discovering you've learned how to live without them. Because one truth becomes impossible to ignore. You matter more now than ever before. Not because you chase, but because you stopped. Your distance carries strength. Your silence carries self-respect. And that realization humbles them to a version of you that no longer needs to beg to be chosen. Part 5. Realizing too late what they lost. There is a moment that comes quietly. No drama, no announcement, just clarity. Arriving too late, they realize you're no longer waiting, not angrily, not bitterly, peacefully, and that peace unsettles them more than anger ever could. They remember the version of you who explained instead of leaving, who hoped instead of walking away, who stayed even when it hurt. But you're different now. Not colder, stronger. You no longer ask for reassurance. You don't depend on their words to feel secure. Your silence doesn't beg anymore. It protects. And suddenly, they understand. You didn't leave in one moment. You left slowly. When your effort went unseen, when your love became expected, when your presence stopped being cherished. They feel the weight of that truth, not because they lost control, but because they lost access to a version of you that loved without hesitation. And regret doesn't scream. It sits quietly in the chest, asking questions that no longer have answers. If this feels familiar, breathe. Not every loss is loud. Some losses arrive as calm acceptance. Walking away doesn't mean you stopped caring. Sometimes it means you finally chose yourself. Don't miss the last message, because the last message is especially for you. So close your eyes and take a slow breath. And listen carefully. If this video touched something inside you, don't ignore that feeling. Sometimes our heart recognizes the truth before our mind is ready to accept it. Not every goodbye is loud. Not every ending comes with closure. Some people leave by slowly teaching us how to survive without them. If you're listening to this and your chest feels heavy, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you loved deeply. It means you stayed longer than you should have because you believed in something real. I want you to write one word in the comments, just one, a word that describes what you're choosing now. Peace, healing, closure, self-respect, letting go. Your story matters, and you're not alone here. Thanks for staying with me at last. So please like, share, and subscribe the channel for more mindset-changing videos, because this channel will grow with your support and your love. Thanks a lot.